In 1950s America, the small and quiet town of Plainfield, Wisconsin, seemed like an ordinary place. But beneath its peaceful surface, one of history's most horrifying crimes was about to unfold. For years no one noticed, but among them lived a true monster. Ed Gein appeared to be just another farmer, yet no one knew the horrors lurking within his mind. Ed Gein's psyche was entirely shaped by his mother, Augusta Gein. A fanatically religious woman, she isolated her son from the world to protect him from sin and immorality. From childhood, Ed saw women as the root of evil. After his mother's death in 1945, the darkness inside him was finally unleashed. After his mother's death, Ed was lost in deep loneliness and obsession. But his solitude wasn't like that of an ordinary man. He began visiting graveyards at night, stealing corpses. From these bodies, he crafted clothing and made furniture out of bones. For Ed, these weren't just objects, they were part of his desperate attempt to recreate his mother. He specifically targeted the graves of women who resembled his mother. In 1957, after a woman's disappearance, police visited Ed Gein's farmhouse. What they found inside was hellish. Masks made of human skin, lampshades from skulls, chairs made of bones. This was not a home, it was a slaughterhouse. Human faces hung on the walls. Skulls were lined up beside a bed. It was one of the most horrifying crime scenes the police had ever encountered. Ed Gein's twisted fantasies weren't limited to the dead. He wasn't just stealing bodies from graves, he was also kidnapping and brutally murdering living people. Ed Gein's known victims were few, but the true number remains unknown. One of his most infamous victims was Bernice Worden, the owner of a hardware store. On November 16, 1957, she disappeared from her shop, and her son reported it to the police. Investigating the receipts, they discovered that her last customer was Ed Gein. When police arrived at his farm, they found Bernice's decapitated body hanging from the ceiling like a slaughtered animal. The cuts were so precise, as if performed by a butcher. This was just one chilling example of Ed's horrifying rituals. Ed Gein was arrested and declared legally insane. He was sent to a mental institution where he remained until his death. However, after his capture, the public was deeply disturbed. Items from Gein's house were auctioned off, but the house itself mysteriously burned down. Some believe that the cursed home should never have existed in the first place. Ed Gein's horrific crimes weren't just a moment in history. His psychological disorders, terrifying fantasies, and gruesome murders became an inspiration for Hollywood. Characters like Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs, and Norman Bates in Psycho were all based on Gein's real-life horrors. Ed Gein didn't just become one of history's most terrifying killers, he became one of the most infamous figures in pop culture. For more mysterious and captivating stories, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and leave a comment. See you in the next videos.